Schizophrenia is a mental disorder with a strong biological basis, but the expression of schizophrenia can change across cultures. One of the most interesting findings is that mental health outcomes are better for patients with schizophrenia in non-Western countries.
People with schizophrenia do better in developing countries according to the WHO studies, no matter how you slice and dice the data.
I will be showing you Julie Magruder's research of people with schizophrenia in Zanzibar as covered in Madness in Zanzibar, an exploration of lived experience. The chapter describes Magruder's experiences among Zanzibari people with schizophrenia and their families. A study in England found that patients who experienced high relapse rates were living in environments rife with hostility, criticism, and emotional overinvolvement. This finding has been replicated in studies all over the world.
Two fellows in England in the 60s, Brown and Burley, noticed that some patients got well at the hospital, went home, and came back disordered very quickly, where others went home and stayed a long time. They set out to try to discover why some people had frequent relapses and why some people had long periods of wellness.
In Zanzibar, hostility, criticism, and emotional overinvolvement were not found in the family of Amina, Hamed, and Kimwana because of the family's religious beliefs that Allah would never give them more than they can handle.
Islam also prominent in talk about cause and coping. People say, this is just the world, this is not heaven. People say, Allah will not give us burdens that we cannot bear. He will give us strength in equal measure. People have tremendous coping in the face of adversity. This family also relies on biomedical remedies, but still does Quran reading for Kimwana, who says that calms her a great deal.
Biomedical treatment is the use of medication or other physiological treatment methods to treat psychological disorders. Because of schizophrenia's strong biological foundation, biomedical treatments are often considered the cornerstone of schizophrenia treatment. However, the biomedical treatment model for schizophrenia is not considered the only method of treating schizophrenia in Zanzibar.
People in Zanzibar are not told that they have a brain disease. Most of the people, when I did my informed consent protocol, had never heard the term schizophrenia. So brain disease models that say you're flawed and it's genetic and it's neurological and you're going to have this for life are not pushed. When patients default on medications, the attitude of practitioners prescribing that medication is not punitive. There are lots of alternative spiritual explanations, and they're not ridiculed. They're generally accepted, even by mental health practitioners. And cultural norms don't support a lot of direct criticism or over-control.
A Zanzibari man named Abdul Rida cares for his sister Shazreen, who has schizophrenia. He heavily adheres to a westernized approach to treating his sister's schizophrenia. His behavior is like the emotional overinvolvement seen in Western societies. However well-intentioned this man is, his behavior was having a negative effect on his sister's recovery because of his westernized approach, in stark contrast with the methods of his cultural community.
In the family, the half-brother who takes care of her speaks constantly about the amount of self-sacrifice that he has done in order to take care of his sister. And this is exactly the kind of thing that the expressed emotion research labels as emotional over-involvement. When you hear him speak, he sounds as if her mental illness is more a problem for him than it is for her.
We can treat people with schizophrenia better through social support, and we also must recognize that the biomedical treatment model is not always best. Being supportive of people and allowing them to experience their mental illness without judgment can be a strong method of treatment. Overall, our treatment of schizophrenia and other mental disorders is heavily shaped by our culture. We see mental illness as a personal ailment, and our treatment methods exhibit this bias. Our highly individualistic culture leads us to believe that people can overcome their illness if they adhere to treatment, but the people of Zanzibar do not place as much importance on overcoming schizophrenia or mental illness. I believe we should adopt this way of thinking because schizophrenia and other psychological disorders are difficult enough to deal with on their own. We should be more patient and understanding of others because social support can be a powerful way to treat schizophrenia and other psychological disorders.